And thank you so much for coming in Jim's honor. I've got an empty glass, but I think before we do anything more, let's have a toast to Jim.
Here, here. To Jimmy.
We had background music going a little bit earlier. It was the Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits. It was a CD album that I happened to find at his house this past weekend. Is at the top of the pile. Thought it might be pretty appropriate, so we had that going. Just a few other things here. If you could sign in. Jim's mother asked that we get your name and address if you are willing, and she would like to acknowledge the people who are here. So she's down in Arizona right now, and so if you want to put your name, address, phone number, email, you can put that all there. I guess before I go any further, I want to introduce Jim's father, Tom Couling. Raise your hand back there, Mr. Couling, and his wife, Diane. Jim's father and stepmother, and I know we've got all kinds of people here from different parts of his life. I understand that Jim was cremated. He's not buried yet anywhere, so that's yet to be determined, so we can't let you know anything about that. As I say, I did talk to his mother, and she's happy that we're getting together, and his father too, and I'm glad that you could be here tonight with us. So at one point, I'll ask people, or if people are willing to just talk about Jim, if you've got an anecdote or something you'd like to share that might help us know Jim a little bit better from a different point of view, please feel free to talk about that. And also, we'd like to get a group photo of everybody. So before we leave, if we, maybe right before, we're going to have a slideshow here. So right before this 4-minute show, maybe we can get everybody together and get a photograph. And I guess what I'd like to say right now, before we all scatter what happens, I just want to thank Scott Johnson. Scott, raise your hand, for helping put this thing together. Carrie Bone. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, Bone. Carrie Bone puts together the program, the show you're going to see in a minute. And Kelly Jackson, where'd Kelly go? Kelly helped, and who am I missing?
Sandy. Jackson. And everybody sent in pictures.
Yeah, everyone who sent in pictures, thank you very much. And also, I received an email from Chip Walters today, and he's out of town on business, and he tried to curtail his trip and couldn't do it, so he said be sure and say hi and let everybody know he wished he could be here. So I guess at this point, why don't we get back against that wall, we'll get a quick group photograph, then we're going to show the show, and then after that, if anybody has things they'd like to share, we'll do
at UMD, everybody called me Mud Snark. That was an unfortunate nickname. Sort of stuck. I think most of us remember the movie Woodstock, right?
Yeah.
Anybody remember the band called 10 Years After?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had a kind of a, famous scene in the movie.
Coming home.
Yeah, Coming Home. And Alvin Lee had a hollow body, a Gibson guitar, and he had stickers all over, peace symbols, and all kinds of weird stickers that he always used to put on. Well, Cato POTUS right here. Cato called me up and said that he wanted to go see Alvin Lee play at the Caboose. And Claudia went, and Jimmy went, and I went, and we went there. It was kind of nostalgic. We were going to hear the old stuff that 10 Years After did from Woodstock. Well, about that time, Jim was making these really cool stickers and buttons. In fact, Kelly's got 2 of them on.
Be Cool Enterprises.
Yeah, Be Cool Enterprises. And they were glow-in-the-dark stickers, and he had one that was a peace symbol. He had a skull and crossbones, but he had a peace symbol in a glow-in-the-dark color. And, we're kind of about halfway back in the crowd. And, Alvin Lee comes out, and they start, rocking out. And Jim had these stickers, and he wanted to give one. I'm like, shit, let's give it to him. So we peel it off, and Jim's got the sticker on his thumb. And he's walking up, he's working his way through the crowd, and he gets up to the stage, and he's holding it up, and Alvin Lee grabs it and slaps it on his guitar. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so Alvin Lee has a Be Cool sticker on his gibbets.
And I still have Alvin Lee's pick from that show.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
Stories.
About Jimmy? I got a lot of stories. I have one that would last a really long time, but it was one of my favorite memories of Jimmy. One spring break, Jimmy and I hitchhiked to Arizona. We were gone for 10 days. 7 of it was on the road, so we actually had 3 days in Arizona. One of our stops was to see Tom Green at the Air Force Academy, where we got invited in for lunch. We also got picked up by some groupies that were going to a Beach Boys concert at Tempe Stadium, which we ended up working the concert, making some money because we actually left Minnesota with $50 in cash and maybe $50 in food stamps. And actually, Opie gave us a ride to Faribault that got us our start.
A lot of parties, and Jim showed up along with about a third or half of this crowd, and most of them. And I'm proud to say that I partied with Jim for over 40 years.
38.
I got pictures. I got pictures of Jim. Back in the 70s, and I had the opportunity to actually sit down and have a meal with Jim the first weekend in December of this year at a party again. And got the chance to do what Jim and I always did, which was have a beer and make a little small talk and laugh a little bit and enjoy the conversation going on around. Jim was always a great listener and a good guy, but yeah, 40 plus years of ongoing socialization and having a beer together. What a great guy. Great guy, Jim.
Yeah, I may
Had that great smile.
Yep.
I may add something also, not a story yet, but...
Who are you?
Huh? No. Well, I'm Scott Johnson.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I brought a scanner here. I know in the solicitation that went out on the email that we were going to have this, it said, if you have some pictures, bring them. And if you have them, I can scan them. You can take them home with you, and we can send them out. So if anybody happens to bring anything with them, just come see me.
Credit cards.
Yeah.
Anything.
Have a laugh. I still do it, but Jim didn't think it was funny. That's why I thought it was funny. But we had a baseball team in college, Hammy's Hot Nuts. We were Jim was he was an outfielder at this time. He was going for a pop-up ball. So, I got it, and and it missed his glove and hit him right in the eye. And everyone knows Jim as being pretty easygoing guy, but I just could not stop laughing. And it's one of those things where he was hurt, but still, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen that day. I actually did my brain, but was he angry that I couldn't stop laughing? And he started chasing me around. I didn't know what to do because the more angry he got, the more I'd laugh. He didn't talk to me for a week after that, but we got over it. Well, I liked it. And he had a big shiner.
Oh, yeah, ready?